my takeaway from the George Paton press conference, and I said this on the Huddle Up podcast, but I'll repeat it again, it wasn't necessarily what George Paton said. It was George Paton himself. And he handled himself, like you just mentioned, Kim, a lot of confidence, a lot of a quiet, calm, measured responses. He was articulate. He was giving legitimate and genuine answers and responses, but he was not showing his hand at all. He was not exposing the team's plans or giving anything away. And one comment I got on that tweet, one negative comment, the rest were fairly positive. A follower said, let's let him make a draft pick before we judge him, based on how good he can be, meaning let's let him make a move. And that user did not realize or fail to mention or, specifically left out that he's made a couple big roster moves already, Kim. He chopped AJ Boye. He got rid of Jarrell Casey. And what I like about that, especially Jarrell Casey, he's not dilly-dallying. He's identifying the weakest parts of the roster, the fat that's hanging off, the excess fat off the roster, and he's chopping it. He could have easily brought back Jarrell Casey. He could have easily brought back AJ Boye, who's opening the season with a suspension, but he's not doing that. He wanted to cut his losses right away, stack his money, and build the team where he sees fit. And that might seem minuscule, and it might seem obvious because we all knew he was probably going to cut those two players. He didn't waste any time. He's actually cut like 8 or 9 players since taking over, only in a few months. And based on what he said in the press conference, he already has his vision for the team in mind. He already knows what he wants the Broncos to be. And he's using his experience and his abilities and his aptitude that he learned in Minnesota 14 years as an executive there and bringing it to Denver. I thought it would take a little while for him to grow into the role as Elway's successor. 2 months later, he looked like he's been doing it his entire life.